So our very crude, sort of simple empirical test doesn't actually support the hypothesis of the Meltzer-Richard model. The Meltzer-Richard model predicts that there should be a positive relationship between inequality and redistribution in democracies. But the data don't quite support this view. If anything, if you look sort of at better data, more sophisticated analyses, there's actually the opposite is true. Countries with lower pre-tax inequality, like Sweden, tend to also redistribute more than those with higher inequality, like the US. And this is something that's sometimes been referred to as the Robin Hood paradox. And what I want you to do now is I want you to take some time and think about this. So this is the homework exercise for this week. Go to Moodle. There's as usual, sort of a forum where you can post your answers and sort of vote up your good answers from your classmates. And what I want you to think about is sort of, why is this the case? Or in other words, why does higher inequality not lead to more redistribution? Or in other words, why hasn't democracy been able to slow down the rise of inequality in the world, or in specific countries? What's the problem here? So think about mechanisms for this. Think about different sort of explanations, and write down one or multiple on the Moodle forum. Please, one sort of topic per post. So if you want to post 2 sort of ideas, that's fine. Just don't make one big post with all these ideas in it, okay? The last thing I wanted to do is to encourage you to do some further reading. I've already referred you sort of to the Charles Booth poverty maps if you're interested in the Museum of Homelessness and these kind of things, but sort of more on the topic of inequality and redistribution. Obviously, there's this week's reading on Why Hasn't Democracy Slowed Rising Inequality by Adam Bonica and co-authors, which you should have a look at. But there are 2 other things I'd sort of recommend if you're interested in this topic more generally. One is a book by Emmanuel Saez and Gabriel Zucman, The Triumph of Injustice, How the Rich Dodge Taxes and How to Make Them Pay. It's a very sensationalist title, of course, but I think it captures the essence of the book. But it has very good very good data again, and sort of a very clear clearly set out argument for what is going on here. And so I'd recommend that very much. And also, I mean, maybe some of you back in the day sort of tried to read the Piketty book, Capital in the 21st Century. If you didn't quite make it through, or struggled with it, if you want a more sort of fun, slightly superficial maybe version of it, if you have an Amazon Prime membership at the moment, the Capital in the 21st Century movie is available there, and it is quite nice, as well as a sort of an overview over sort of the historical development, how we got where we are, and features Piketty and Gabriel Zucman and some of these people. It is quite entertaining.